Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So I think because one of the concerts I've been to when I lived in Milwaukee was Mint Condition. And,
yeah,
and I always said that when they played, it felt as if just like you listen to them on the album, that's how they are live. And I've very rarely seen anyone match that. So I do wonder then if that's the reputation you developed, where if you as a musician, songwriter, singer, and then you have a band that you're really connected with, if that's the experience that people are getting, I can imagine where people might be thinking, okay, they're putting on an authentic show. We need to be mindful of what we're doing afterwards.
yeah. No, that's true because I always knew going out on stage, I always assumed this, and I was clearly wrong in South Africa. I was, but and a lot of times I was very confused as to um, what was it. So get this, I go to South Africa. This was like maybe 2009, 8 or 9, and I have 2 shows lined up at this theater. And when I walk out on stage, well, no, my drummer was walking out on stage because I needed to check something on my keyboard. And so I'm kind of walking behind him. And it was funny because before I left out of my suite, they said, "Hey, they said we have security for you. We have a car for you." I'm like, "But wait a minute. Every day we've been here, we've been walking down to the theater because it was a casino hotel and a
Hmm.
theater. So we walk through the casino and walk into the theater." They're like, "No, no, 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 no. You have to go a different way." I'm like, "No, it's okay. Trust me, it's all right. I'm here. My feet is on the ground. And people know I'm here. It's all." They said, "No, you don't understand. You need security, you need a car." So they literally walked me out of my room, down the elevator to the garage, put me in a car, drove us around the other side to the back of the theater with 2 security guys, and then we walk in. And I'm like, I don't know why they tripped. So when I walk and creep out on stage to see what I need to do for my keyboard, it's people start cheering and screaming. The whole building is rumbling. I'm thinking, did Michael Jackson just walk out on stage? Like, I don't understand why they acting like this, right? It was a full house. Both nights was a full house. And then when we did the, and then when once I realized, I was like, oh my God. It was like, because that was a concentrated number of people that were there to see who was on stage. It wasn't like a festival, right? A
Mm.
festival is just like they're there to see whoever's on stage. But when it's concentrated like that, I was like, yo, that was a really intense moment. And they knew every single song that I did. They were even
Mm.
calling out songs that we did not rehearse to play. But I was still playing because I knew them on keyboard, right? But it became, and so the first night you learn like your limits or your lack of limits as far as what you can do on stage and how you can entertain the people. So the second night was even better, but I recorded all that stuff. But it was like I just remember as a performer, after that I come back to Atlanta and Albie Shore was doing like a little cool little intimate show at this cool lounge up the street from me. But he said, "Hey man, bro, you come by." So I went by and he called me up and I went up on stage and sung Nobody Knows. And it was quiet as a church mouse. It was quiet. Nobody made a sound. And I was almost confused. Like, wait a minute, I just left South Africa. These people lost their mind. I could barely hear. My ear was popping for how loud people were, right? And here I was, I'm sitting here in the city where I live. And it's like, these jokers are quiet as if I'm not even up here doing anything. But then I remember Boys to Men. I remember when I run into Sean Stockman at the Grammy Museum. I said, "Bro, how y'all been, man?" He told me, "Bro, we had to eat some humble pie." I was like, "What happened?" He says, "Man, at some point we found ourselves performing at a bar with a bull in the center, like a riding bull." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "After that, we just went overseas." And he said, "It blew our minds because we thought we were done. But what we realized is that no, in America, people's attention spans are really, really short when it comes to music. So they get over things fairly quickly. But overseas, they never forget, ever. So that was interesting to me.
You know, it's a lot of my guests have said they've been really impressed by how they come to Europe around and they get a lot of love. And they say, yeah, we don't really get that back home. And it shocks us because it's like, what? You know, you did all this stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know if it has changed recently. Because I think during the 2000s, there were probably the attentions were turned. I think there's probably, I would assume, since the pandemic, there's been a lot more of an appreciation for sort of 90s R&B acts, or 90s artists, where there is, I think when the New Edition tours and all these tours are going on, there's been a more of an appreciation. But there must have been a time then, I guess, in that 2000s where it's like, okay, you guys were yesterday, we're moving on. And I can't imagine how that must have been like, especially were you still signed to a major if this is happening or
No.
okay.
At that time, I had a partnership with Hidden Beach when I was over doing South Africa. So it was different. It's a different machine when you're working with a label that's more independent, so to speak. It's a little different. They navigate differently. But you're right when it comes down to like 90s era artists are now considered legacy artists. Anything before the year 2000.
Mm,
What happens is a lot of legacy artists, anybody that put a lot of music out in the 90s benefits more from as bad as streaming is for the bottom line for creators of music,
mm,
still anybody that put music out before the 2000s probably makes more money than new artists, anybody after 2000.
mm,
And the reason being is because of all of that catalog music from the 90s.
yeah.
Because when I'm online and a teenager comments on one of my songs that someone else has posted on their YouTube page, I'm also, oh my God, this song means so much to me, blah, blah, blah. And you find out that they're 15 years old. And you're like, you were not even born when this song, but YouTube and the ability to discover
Yeah.
music. That's the difference now. It's that all of this 90s R&B, any music from the 90s is
Mm.
being rediscovered by kids of this day and
TikTok.
age.
Yeah. Oh, the TikTok
I
viral
love it.
vid. Yeah.
There it is. That's the thing about it's like one of my really good friends who's a fine artist. His name's Anthony Liggins. When we talk about art, because I'm in that world now as well, his whole thing is always just keep producing, brother. And I've always said that to music artists that were younger than me. Just keep creating. Don't worry about when you're going to release it, how you're going to release it. Just keep creating it
Mm.
because one day somebody's going to discover it. And if it's good, they're going to know it's good. But
Yeah.
keep creating because it's good for your soul. Like I create music still and when I do art, it's all for my sanity, bro. It's like I have to do it. It's like, why would I sit on talents and not figure out a way where I can make it to be something that is therapeutic for me and very calming for me at the same time I can earn a living from it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us or even loving us on which I didn't miss you really.
I'm sure. What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay.
They understand those boys winning all spirits.
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love I love all different genres.